Hello nerds, welcome back to episode of WN. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be focusing specifically on Ableton. They put out a new public beta which looks pretty promising. Before we get started though, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here if you want to stay up to date with the music production news. So they've improved the UI as well as the sound of the auto filter. You can now visualize the signal. They've also included visualization for the left and right channels separately. They've added new filter types such as the DJ filter, which allows you to control both a low and high pass filter with a single parameter. There's a comb filter, which combs, vowel filter, vowels. There's a morph filter with 4 different slopes, allowing you to morph between different filter types. And there's a resampling filter, as well as a notch plus LP filter. I haven't gotten into the rest of this yet, but I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with what Ableton's been doing lately ever since they released version 12. There were some problems with 12 when it came out, but they've released a lot of free content since then. I don't know, love to see it, love to see it. So they've updated the filter circuits, with SVF functioning as a linear/clean filter, but can also introduce distortion if you increase the drive. They've introduced a new filter circuit known as DFM that can feed back more of its distortion. The MS2 uses a Salin key design and soft clipping to limit resonance, and is modeled on the filters using a famous semi-modular Japanese monosynth. PRD uses a ladder design and has no explicit resonance limiting. They've added more LFO shapes, including wander, ramp up, ramp down. There's an LFO morph feature, which allows you to transform and tilt the LFO shape in various ways. And there are now multiple quantization modes for the LFO. There's a steps mode and SNH mode. They've added an envelope attack hold parameter, allowing you to ensure the envelope finishes its full attack phase, even when the input signal are only short transients. I've actually played around with the auto filter a little bit, and I gotta say, Ableton absolutely killed this. It has pretty much anything you could ask for when it comes to a stock DAW filter device. I'm gonna mess around with it really quickly in this project, if you're curious what it sounds like. They've also added 2 new commands for bouncing tracks. 1, you can bounce tracks in place, and 2, you can bounce to new track. This is great because I remember before there were people complaining, as always, about how the freeze and flatten feature is not the same thing as bouncing in place. There you go, you got what you wanted, alright? Alright nerds, you got what you wanted. Speaking of bouncing in place, did you know that FabFilter Pro Q could do this?
Yeah!
Well, what about this?
Yeah!
Yeah, I haven't seen that in anyone else's review either. This is what Big Audio doesn't want you to find out about, alright? So when you bounce to audio, it's performed pre-mixer and post-FX. So they've actually renamed freeze and flatten to bounce track in place. Somehow I feel like some people are gonna have a problem with this. I don't know what it'll be, but it's for you guys. All right, I'm gonna stay out of this. They've also included some browser improvements. They've actually redesigned the filter view. I haven't checked this out yet, but I mean, it could only have gotten better because I feel like I did not like the filtering system that they added. So they claim it has been redesigned to work better with the added filtering and tagging features. So the filters bar has been removed, if only, just kidding, and replaced by a new toggle to the right of the search bar. It kind of just felt like it was getting in the way, at least for me. And I'm sure to a lot of people who have been using Ableton since way before they've added this filtering feature. They've changed the browse back and browse forward icons, just icons. All right. That's a minuscule change. So they changed the content options menu and the content pane. You can now customize which content columns are displayed as well as reorder them in the content pane by dragging. They've actually added a lot of detail here. The new show file extension option lets you show or hide all file extensions. I'm sure there was probably at least one person requesting this. I can't think of what the hell I would use this for. You know what, mate? You know what? There probably is a time and place for this. A very specific small feature though. Let's hope this doesn't get out of control and turn into Pro Tools too fast though. So they've added a quick tags panel. Okay, interesting. It lets you view assigned tags as well as add or remove tags for selected browser items, okay? Oh, that's nice. So yeah, you can customize the tags. They've also added custom icons. Somehow I'm excited about this. If only, okay, now I'm definitely asking for too much here, but can we add our own icons? See, this is the thing when it comes to listening to your customers. At a certain point, they're going to be asking for way too much shit and really unnecessary shit. Like, if you listen to me, I'm going to be asking for some really stupid shit at a certain point. Like, I'm be like, cool, I love these custom icons. Can I get a dick and balls? No dick and balls? Well, there's one that looks like a hairy butt crack there. That's not too bad. I guess that'll do for now. So you can add custom icons to any label in library as well as user folders. Oh man, dude, they've made a ton of oh my god, they've made a ton of changes. Okay, so they've improved meld, roar, and operator. In meld, they've added a new chord oscillator type, which is a combination of 4 sawtooth oscillators, which can play a bunch of different chords. So you actually can enable the use current scale toggle button. The generated chords will follow that scale. And if there's no scale, it'll just do a major scale chord with whatever MIDI note as the root. They've added a Scrambler LFO 1FX. Don't know what that is. Yeah, I've never heard of this before. So that alters 4 different parts of the input modulator. Definitely could create for some more interesting sound design out of meld. Okay, then in roar, they've added a new delay routing mode. So basically the second stage will process signal from the first stage. There's a new filter type known as dispersion. They've added an external sidechain, which will allow you to input signal into the envelope follower and control it from other signals. They're adding a lot of stuff. I'm pretty surprised. Like, they're putting in work, man. I don't know. I remember before, like, there was a lot of crapping on Ableton happening. I don't know, man. I think they're putting in work, man. My theory is, like, maybe they heard the feedback. Maybe they saw, you know, how people are happy with FL Studio and the fact they don't charge for updates, which, I mean, that's been a thing for a long time, but maybe people are emphasizing it more. You know, maybe they're just paying attention to what's going on outside. Okay, so the Resonator device now supports scale awareness. That allows you to control the pitch and note, transposition, and scale degrees. The Resonator also supports tuning systems. Spectral Resonators now support scale awareness and tuning systems. They've increased operator maximum voice count to 32 voices. They've made some small updates to the user interface on certain devices too. Nothing too unfamiliar from what I can tell. They've also released a new Max for Live device known as Expressive Chords, which is MP supportive and lets you play complex chords with a single button push. It features parameters to change the inversion as well as articulation and strumming. Check out this demo from them really quickly. They've also made some other small device improvements and some Max for Live improvements. I'm not going to go through all of this. If you're interested, I will link this in the description. A lot of stuff, a lot of changes, man. So yeah, that is Ableton Public Beta 12.2. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description if you want to join the program. Okay, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button if you have not. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the music and music production news. See you guys next time.